somehow by magic, stability is going to come out of instability somehow. Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your October Soul Session. I am Princess India if you are new, and if you're family, welcome back, my friend, and whatnot, or whatever. So anywho, if you're not familiar with what a soul session is, they are my spirituality as well as personal development readings. And we're going to go ahead and take a gander at the energies that you guys may be experiencing this month and any situations related to those energies, as well as any potential advice that you guys can utilize in learning your overall spiritual lessons and whatnot or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So anywho, we're going to go ahead and jump into you guys' cards and see what's going on with you guys for the month of October. So we have a central energy, a challenge, our past influence, your future possibilities, what's above you and what is below you. And at the bottom of your deck, my Virgo friend, we have the Five of Cups. This is interesting. I was led to do, this is a side note, I was led to do the order of the readings differently than I have ever done them in the history of my channel. Because for those of you who don't know, I would always post readings in an order based on who had the highest views the month prior, right? And what I noticed this month, and this has a lot to do with you, Virgo, is how it more or less interrelates more, I think, for people who may be cuspers, like being born around when signs change. And I can see the synchronicity between the signs because they've been done in order, starting with Libra and going all the way through the zodiac wheel to Virgo, which would be the last, you know? And I say that to say that with this Five of Cups being at the bottom of you guys' deck, I thought that was interesting that Leos had that as their challenge. So my Virgos, the energy that's undergirding you guys this month is more or less one of grief and loss and maybe even a little bit of regret. So that's more or less an influence or a motivation for you guys this month. And I feel for you guys, it feels a lot like anger for me at present for you all. Underneath that, of course, I feel there's a well of emotion, but I feel that there may be some sense of either you guys in relation to other people, not wanting to necessarily admit your hurt, not wanting to admit your disappointment, not wanting to show weakness for some of you. So it's almost electing to take a stance of you know, either aggression or anger, but I feel beneath all of that, it has a great deal to do with hurt. And I can even say this, if my Virgo people are dealing with a person who you know has just gone through something and they're kind of, you know, either acting aggressively, angrily, or, you know, saying that they're fine, you know, it's almost, I don't want to say like denial, but it's a little bit of that, but it's interrelated with a person not wanting to show a sign of weakness, which would mean the person has a belief that showing emotion or expressing emotion is correlated with weakness, whether that's you or someone that's in you guys' stratosphere. So your central energy for the month is the 10 of Wands. And this is challenged by the 8 of Pentacles. The first thing I want to say, going back to you guys' underlying energy, the first vibe I get with this is a person who's unnecessarily carrying burdens. It's carrying a lot of stuff on a person's back that they don't necessarily have to carry, but it's almost as if a person is feeling as if that's what they're supposed to do or what they have to do, whether it's them feeling that they're alone in this experience, or this is just interrelated to how they believe things are supposed to be handled. But I also feel with this that this person also is diving a lot into work, if that's making sense. And I don't know why I'm saying this person. So, I mean, this is your reading, Virgo. I mean, I don't know I'm just paying attention to how it's coming out of my mouth. I really feel this could either be my Virgo person, or this could be someone you guys having, and I said in your stratosphere, meaning this would have to be someone really close to you, whether this is a child or a parent or a partner, a best friend. For another person's energy to come up like this, if this doesn't resonate with you, like if you guys know for sure without a shadow of a doubt that you're not in this situation type of deal, it would have to be someone that's very, very close to you for their energy to be showing up like that, if this isn't the Virgo person. But this feels like someone who experienced some sort of loss, and it's not wanting to face the emotions related to it, which is a lot like what I said in Leo's reading. So if you're not a cusper and you got somebody with Leo in their chart, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like it's a person who's bearing a burden on their own, and they don't necessarily have to, but it's like they're suppressing their emotions with this disappointment, this regret, this loss, whatever it may be. And I feel this person is diving into work. So it's like, it's almost using work as a distraction from having to face the emotions in reference to this. Now, the past influence is the Sun card. So I have to say, for some of you guys, this can be related to a literal kid. I want to say with this too, and this is going to be really specific and it ain't going to be for everybody, but if someone just recently started therapy, and something that I'm sure that your therapist told you by now, or those of you who are familiar with therapy, this could also be things get worse before they get better. So this is like someone who started to do inner child healing, or someone who just recently, I'm not gonna say recently, but you started therapy recently, not like yesterday, but someone who started therapy, it has a tendency in the process of therapy to get worse before it gets better, because it's kind of unlocking a lot of emotions that one has never expressed, and confronting a lot of things that one may never have had the opportunity to confront. So a lot of this could be a lot of old energy that's kind of starting to be kicked up, right? So that's one side of it. And then that would kind of transfer this 10 of Wands and this 8 of Pentacles as the challenge of more or less this grief coming to the surface, but it's like the releasing of the burdens because of the work that you guys are doing. For others of you, this more or less looks like the truth coming out about something in September or towards the end of September. And this could be a myriad of different things. This could be the truth about a child, the truth, someone finding out that they were pregnant. This could be finding out the truth about something from when you were a child. I want to clarify this just because it could be so many different things, but I really do feel like the light was shown on something, but let's go ahead and find out what that is, because I feel more or less whatever it is that was done in the dark, if you will, that came into the light. I feel that that's where this burden, this grief is coming from, if you will. Let me clarify this really quick. Loving how clarifiers made an appearance this month. And for those of you who don't know me with the After Tarot, I don't read these in the reverse, because the entire deck, the way that the author did it, the entire deck is already in the reverse, you know? Whoa. Okay, we got the 5 of Cups again. I want to say with that, there could be, I'm gonna double clarify, but just because it's the 5 of Cups coming up again, because it's more or less, it's the truth being revealed in reference to still a loss, but that's not telling me what it is I want to know. And Princess likes to know things. But for some of you, this literally could be a person that you lost, or God forbid, a child. But let's see. And then we have the Queen of Wands. Interesting. So that's more or less mommy energy to me. Queen of Wands is wife, mom. And again, that's Leo energy. Wow. That's interesting. So I don't know if this is a person for you guys, or if it's just more or less losing your willpower. You know what I mean? But that's still really going into this Leo energy for me. I don't want to make it too specific to where, dog, that's Leo energy. That is. So I don't know if this is related to a mother. I don't know if this is related to just a person's personal power. You know what I mean? If it's something related to business. But what it's really looking like to me, it's a huge disappointment that involves other people or another person or children, or it's still a myriad of different things. I was trying to get super duper clear before I move forward, y'all, just because there's so many different scenarios that I see here. Oh, wow. And then we have the Knight of Wands. That's wild. That is wild. And all of this energy is oriented to the past. So I legit would have to say, Virgos, this is a lot of fire energy, specifically Leo energy. There's child, teenager, young man, mother, self energy. But all in all, this is still speaking to the same vibration of all of those different scenarios that I was saying, man. And then we got the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, I mean, if we're going to keep going in circles, I have to leave that where it is. So I guess this is a lot of different scenarios for different people, because with the Ace of Swords, I'll just take that too, being at the bottom of the deck. It's talking about clarity and cutting to the root of a situation. You know what I'm saying? So it's still talking about a truth being revealed and a truth coming out, but this is very much oriented towards the past. So this can go as far back as September. This can go back as far as July, really, to be honest with you. Yeah. This can literally go back as far as July, like 22nd, 23rd of July. And like I said, all of this here, this can be related to your child, a mother, it could be about a child, it could be pregnancy, it could be a myriad of different things. But at the end of the day, the whole point of all of this is that a truth was revealed to you guys, and that's more or less the root of why it is that this sadness, depression, regret is here at present, that's burdening you all. But I still feel this element of not really wanting to face either the truth about this situation or how it is that you feel about it. Your underlying energy is the Hermit. And of course, as you guys card, Virgo energy. Your above energy, we have the Four of Wands. Okay, here's the thing, Virgos. With the Four of Wands being in your above energy, we're speaking more or less to a desire for stability, for consistency, for harmony, all of these things, right? But I feel there's a need to, and I do feel this is very much related to how Leo's energy came out. I don't know if y'all have that in your chart too, or what, if y'all are cuspers, whatever the case, but meaning like you were born between like the 20th up to like the 23rd, 24th, somewhere of in that range. But it's wanting something, like trying to get blood from a turnip is how I always say it. It's like coming into the truth or a realization of a truth that may be less than stellar, right? And I mean, for some of you, it could be a truth that's really not bad. You know what I'm saying? Because like, say if you found out that you were pregnant, right? It's like, and that brings you into the energy and present. So September, you find out you're pregnant, and we have the 10 of Wands here. It's not saying that children are burdens. It's just the fact that it's like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of, or someone told you that they were pregnant. It just ends up becoming like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? It's being overwhelmed and putting in a whole bunch of work now, because it's like, holy crap, I have to create some type of foundation. That's another way that I could see this too. Like if a dude found out that a chick was pregnant, you know what I'm saying? And this reading is so fascinating too, because there's so many different scenarios that I see. It's like if a guy found out that a chick was pregnant and like, it wasn't like, you know, like kind of like a one night stand type of deal. You know what I'm saying? And the chick wants a commitment, wants like marriage, stability, security type of deal, but that's not how the situation was or is at present. And that being more or less of like a burden, or feeling that way. Not saying the person or the kid is or anything like that, but it's this fact of knowing that one has to create a sense of stability. So that could be the case. You know what I'm saying? So it's not saying that whatever it is you guys found out is burdensome, not for everyone. It's like 50-50. For some of y'all, it's being overwhelmed by what you found out. And for different reasons. It's some people who are avoiding the emotions. There's other people who are just trying to solve the problem. But the whole premise of this is it's trying to get to a place of stability again after this kind of shook your foundation a little bit. But with the Hermit being here and you guys' underlying energy is more or less of needing to get back to yourself or to get clear with yourself, because it feels like almost getting swept up in the chaos and calamity of things and just fighting to try to get back to a sense of normality, but it's not ever confronting how it is that you're really feeling. You know what I mean? And that's why I feel that the card that represents you guys, the Hermit, is here, because it's more or less in the month of October, there's a need for you guys to really go within and get clear about how you're feeling about this situation, because it could end up becoming a problem moving forward. And we have the Four of Cups. So that's the thing. It's like a conversation needs to be had. This needs to be faced. I don't know, man, especially if this has something to do with like pregnancy. Like if a person is pregnant, whether, you know, it's the chick that's pregnant or it's a dude that's watching that got someone pregnant, I just have this feeling of like, it's like, it's almost like how I said with this Five of Cups, like I said, I didn't want to say denial. Like here, I want to say denial. And it's like, I don't know how old y'all are, but I mean, it's almost like pretending this isn't happening. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the reality of the situation. And I'm saying this specifically with the whole pregnancy thing. It's like the kid is still growing in the womb. You know what I'm saying? It's like the kid's gonna be here. So it's kind of like, I understand it's overwhelming and not really wanting to deal with it, but it's almost like it needs to be dealt with, because it's almost like a person who's hoping to get to a place of stability and security by just ignoring something is what it's looking like. But with this Four of Cups being here, and the blue moon is in this card, so we're speaking again to the 31st of October. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like by the end of the month, not saying that stuff is going to hit the fan or anything, but it's almost like, it almost feels like a deluge of emotion. You know what I'm saying? And being stagnated, because it's almost like putting something off. Like if it's dealt with this month, if someone faces it this month, you could have your head above water, But it's like if whatever this is continues to be ignored, it's almost like it's going to deal with you before the ending of the month, if that's making sense. And I'm saying, dude, I didn't clarify this card 4 times. And all of it is saying the same thing. It's just giving me players and the fact that truth is here. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, and I guess like usually when it's like that, I'm talking about so many different scenarios that if I make it too specific, then who's watching would be like, oh, well, I'm not going through that. That's not my situation. That's why I like to keep them pretty broad over here and just speak to the energy patterns, because it could be a myriad of different things. But the whole premise of this is to get back to yourself. It's like you need to get back to your light, your clarity, your truth, your feelings, and your emotions. Because if you use anything as a distraction from this, and I mean anything, if you use anything as a distraction from this, like from really facing these emotions, these grief-stricken, regretful, sad, depressed kind of emotions, like it's not going to behoove you to do that, because it's almost like the more that this Virgo person or Virgo somebody in your life, the more that this is ignored, it's almost like it's growing, And I mean, with this 10 of Wands in the center, it's already speaking to that. Like the person already feels the pressure on them, but it's still electing to not face what's happening. You know what I mean? And it's like really what you guys or the person in your life, whatever, is being asked this month is to face the music. If you want stability, if you want security, that's something that one has to work for. It's like it's almost like it's really Seven of Swords energy. I always say with the Seven of Swords, what you skip will trip you up later. It's almost like a person who's trying to skip, you know what I'm saying? Like skip a step. It's like, I want to heal. Like I experienced a loss and I don't want to go through all the 5 stages of grief. You know what I'm saying? I just want to get straight to acceptance. Like, I'm not doing depression. I'm not doing bargaining. I'm not doing none of that. Like, let me just be shocked and go to acceptance. And it's almost like a person who's like, I don't need to go through the 5 stages of grief. I was shocked now. Like, I'm at acceptance. I'm straight. No denial, none of that. You know what I'm saying? Which would be one of the stages of grief, which is denial. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like a person is like saying, I'm okay, I'm all right, I'm okay, I'm all right. Which goes back to what I was saying with this 5 of Cups. It's like this aggression or this anger, and it's like the vibe you get from the person is like, you know what, like you just went through something, and it's like, and the person gets mad for you asking, like, are you okay? Like, what you mean, am I okay? Of course I'm okay. And it's like, oh, okay, my bad. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the vibe I get. But it's like underneath this aggression that this person has, it's so much emotion. Like they feel so much, and it's them suppressing it. And again, I'm saying them as if this isn't you, Virgo. I mean, I don't know if this is somebody that's in y'all's life, or if this is actually you. But it's like them suppressing this emotion, it's all going to come out by the end of the month. Like it's going to consume them, like them reaching a breaking point and literally having like a breakdown. And then it's like at that point, and I'm saying only if this isn't dealt with or faced, at that point, it's almost like it's going to be harder to sort through stuff, because it's going to be harder to see what the problem is, because it's going to seem like so much different stuff. This is so strange, dude. This is so strange. Like, this is boggling my mind. The Page of Cups. the Three of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. Oh my goodness, what is happening in America? Ooh, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Every time I clarify, it's just making it worse. With this Ten of Wands, dude, we have the Three of Cups here, and we have the Two of Pentacles. This is literally like, I just want to be happy, but I have no idea how to get there, you know? And I just want to be happy. I just don't know how to get there. And I understand that, dude. It's like, it's an escapism feeling. It's like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to be here. I just want everything to go back to normal. And this sounds so vibrationally like somebody's reading I've done already. I don't know who it is, but it's like, I just want to be okay. I want everything to get back to normal. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be here. It's like, I just want to go back to normal, you know? And it's like with this Page of Cups here and you guys underlying energy, it's more or less like I don't want to say it like that because that sounds lame. It's like there's an inspiration in you. There's a desire in you. You know what I'm saying? To move forward, right? To be in your strength, to be in your power. But this is still going back to what I was saying with this Five of Cups, like a person who feels that emotions are a sign of weakness. You know what I'm saying? It's like either you're hella excited or you're just baseline even keel and not really wanting to explore anything else other than that emotion wise. But it's still in all, it's like it's too premature. And I have no idea what we're even talking about here, dude. I have no idea what we're even talking about here. But it's like what a person is wanting to happen or is desiring to happen, it's skipping a whole bunch of steps. But it's not wanting to face how sad a person really is on the inside. It's just wanting to get back to regular life, if you will. And then they have elements of a person drinking too. So like I said, they have someone that's overworking. There could be a person who's over drinking, a person who's, you know, partying and hanging out with friends and all of this stuff to escape what it is that's actually happening. But it's like a contrast. It's almost like, even looking at this Page of Cups to this Hermit, it's almost like two sides to a person. It's like the person that needs to come to the fore right now is like the adult within the adult. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a need to get clear, to face facts, to not run away from it. You know what I'm saying? But then on the other side of that, with the Page of Cups, it goes back to that, you know, that vibe I said of how a person is trying to hope something somehow works out without any type of plan or strategy, if that's making sense. It's like I said, with the whole kid thing, it's just like, this isn't happening. It's like, no, it is. And there's a need to face it. Like, I understand it's uncomfortable. I understand that it's overwhelming, but ignoring it isn't gonna fix it. And it's like the vibe I'm getting from this is a person who is deluding themselves into believing that somehow by magic, stability is going to come out of instability somehow. And it's not looking at the situation for what it is. So it's like being in denial. And I don't know if this is like a parent with their kid. Like if your kid, because I said teenager too, like if your kid is involved in some type of behavior and is doing things and it's like a parent turning a blind eye to it. You know what I'm saying? Oh my word, y'all gonna have to tell me in the comments what we're really talking about here. Because it's like, I can even see this in a sense as a forewarning. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it would almost be like if this is related to somebody's kid, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, if there's a parent that's consumed with their own stuff and you have kind of like a problem child, like a Leo problem child, you know? And it's like being so consumed by something going on in your life, and it's like turning a blind eye to what this kid is doing and just like trusting the process, like they'll grow out of it type of deal. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it could be a water sign child too. Oh, Lord have mercy. It's almost like it's something with this Four of Cups, dude, where by the end of the month, it's like, if you don't deal with this by the end of the month, this situation would deal with you. And everything it is, because if we talk about this portal, like I've said, and everybody's reading on the 31st, it's like a mirror. And it's like, we get to see the life we created via the choices that we make. So regardless of what your specific situation is, if whatever this is isn't dealt with, like whatever it is a person is trying to not look at, whatever a person is trying to gloss over, you know what I'm saying? It's like by the end of the month, it would deal with you. So whatever it is you were ignoring is going to be in the forefront, and it's going to be like, hey, I'm here. Nice to meet you. But I feel the reason why it's coming out like that is because it's giving an opportunity to face this and release the burden by looking at the situation for what it is and accepting it. It's like, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you lost someone, you lost your job, you were lied to, cheated on, you lost a person. You know what I'm saying? You're hurt, you're sad, like, that's okay. Or like, you know, I made some bad choices, my money's messed up, like whatever it is for you guys specifically. The whole message of this reading is a need to face it and not escape it, because this is like a lot of escapism. It's a lot of turning a blind eye and just hoping and praying that it somehow works itself out. And the only time things work themselves out is when we put work in, you know? But I just feel that there's some fear related to one's emotional space or the truth. It's like not wanting to accept the truth about a situation. I don't know, Virgo. I don't know if this is y'all or if this is somebody in y'all life, but you cannot pass go until this is dealt with. That's what the Four of Cups is saying to me. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, when I say that it's going to deal with you if you don't deal with it, that's not like doom and gloom or a bad omen or anything like that. That's just cause and effect. You know what I'm saying? Like, handle it now before it becomes a bigger problem. And it's so ironic to me that the entire time I'm talking about this card, what's coming to my mind is my own city and like our pumping system. Because those of you who don't know, New Orleans is 6 feet below sea level. So the only thing that's stopping all of us from being underwater under the mighty Mississippi is our levee system and our pumping system. But it keeps coming to my mind because I'm thinking it's the equivalent of knowing that you have, you know, 2, 3, 4 drainage pumps in the city that are malfunctioning. But then the day before a hurricane comes, realizing, holy crap, we got them 2, 3 pump stations that ain't working. You know what I'm saying? So it's like trying to do damage control. And it's like, and now it's too hard to try to figure out what the root of the problem is because the whole city is underwater. So we don't really know what pumps it was that wasn't working, because all of them aren't working because the entire city is underwater now. You know what I'm saying? And the irony of this is that Hurricane Katrina happened on August 29th. I promise I'm not being triggered. And that's Virgo season. This is so crazy. That is so ironic. That is so ironic. But if you guys can glean anything from that metaphor, you know, one of the greatest national natural disaster tragedies that happened here was because of a lot of people dropping the ball and overlooking a lot of things. And that's exactly what it is that I'm seeing in this energy. It's like a lot of people turn a blind eye to stuff, a lot of people letting things slip through their cracks and slip through their fingers, when last month it was very clear what it is that was going on. But it's the discomfort of not wanting to deal with that because it's too much, is the vibe that I'm getting. It's too cumbersome, it's too burdensome, and it's just hoping it'll somehow work itself out. But like I said, dude, what I'm seeing, this is a message for anyone who's watching this, whether this is you, this is your job, I don't care what it is. It's like what needs to be known is known or has been known since September. And this month you have the choice to face it, to deal with it, to make the choices that you need to make, and to not dodge it. You know what I'm saying? Utilize intellect, utilize wisdom to handle the situation, to listen to your feelings, listen to your instincts, whatever inspirations you guys have in reference to this, to follow it, to put the work in, to recreate stability in your situation. If you don't, it's like this situation would deal with you and it's going to stagnate you, and you won't be able to move forward until you deal with it. So it's more or less a choice of deal with it now or later. If you deal with it now, you'll be more in control. If you deal with it later, it's dealing with you and you're doing damage control, if that's making sense. Virgo, y'all gonna have to tell me in these comments what I'm talking about, because I have no idea. I have no idea what this is referring to. Please let me know in the comments what this is. I am about to go to Patreon, Vimeo, YouTube members and my website to do you guys extended. I'm sure that's going to be very fascinating. So if you're about that life, follow me over there. If you are going to the extended, pick number 1, 2, or 3. Don't pick 3, don't pick 2. I'm not saying those numbers. I mean, don't pick 3 numbers, don't pick 2 numbers. Just pick one number, either 1, 2, or 3. If you're going over to the extended, I'll let you know when you get to the extended why I asked you to do that. But if not, I still love your face. Whoo, child. And I'm going to see you guys sooner than later. But I need to know what is really going on here. I love your face, Virgo. I love you. I do. Please tell me in the comments what this is about, because I just, whoo, child.